The Dallas Mavericks have had a lot of success in recent years, and in each of the past 2 seasons, they have made the playoffs. Unfortunately for the Mavericks, they've also been knocked out twice in the first round in each of the past 2 seasons. So in today's video, we'll talk about the Dallas Mavericks, what they need to do to get over the hunch, and what they can do to put themselves in the conversation amongst the NBA's best teams. Let's get right into it. If you've not already, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm uploading multiple videos every single week and your support goes a long way. But anyways, getting right into things, when you talk about the Dallas Mavericks, the first guy that you obviously have to bring up is Luka Doncic. He's easily a top 10 player and arguably a top 5 player in the entire league, depending on who you talk to. The whole Mavericks system and team is built around Luka Doncic. He's a superstar, and you can tell when you watch the Mavericks play that he is their guy. He's going to be their guy for many years to come. So the Mavericks are in a much better position than a handful of NBA teams. Having a superstar like Luka Doncic is a luxury that I'm sure many NBA GMs would dream of having. He's an offensive juggernaut who night in and night out gives you major production, makes the teammates around him better, hits the big shots when you need him to, shows up in the big games. But as great as Luka Doncic is, the Mavericks cannot be as dependent upon him as they have and expect to be successful in the future. In today's NBA, and honestly pretty much the entire history of the NBA, it's been nearly impossible for a team to win a championship without having multiple stars. Even the greatest players in NBA history needed help to win championships. LeBron James went to Miami. He had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, two all-star or even superstar caliber players. Michael Jordan, the GOAT according to many people, had Scottie Pippen, who was a legit star player next to him. Dennis Rodman wasn't that great on offense, but on defense he was a superstar player. Even the greats of all time needed help. They needed legitimate all-star players next to them, and that is something that the Mavericks don't have around Luka Doncic. They have a lot of decent role players, but they don't really have that second guy or even third guy like many teams have that you can really consider a star next to Luka Doncic. Kristaps Porzingis is the guy that they brought in to be that second star next to Luka Doncic, but since arriving in Dallas 2 seasons ago, he really hasn't lived up to expectations. He's missed a lot of games with injuries, and in the games he has played, he's been decent, but he hasn't been that dominant star player that he showed flashes of while he was playing in New York. When the Mavericks brought Porzingis in, I'm pretty sure most fans were expecting him to be a dominant presence on both ends of the floor, getting buckets at will on offense, blocking shots on defense, grabbing every single rebound in sight, but like I mentioned before, he has not lived up to these expectations at all. He's pretty much been reduced to being a stretch big who sits on the perimeter and hits jumpers, who rarely posts up, and when he does, it's usually a post fade, so it's just another jump shot. And for a guy at his size, with his talent, with his abilities and athleticism, there's no way that he should just be labeled a stretch big. There's no excuse for him not to be labeled a legitimate star player in this league. The Mavericks really don't have a true post presence on either end of the floor, which I think is another huge problem for them. On offense, like I mentioned before, they don't have a real presence in the paint because Kristaps Porzingis really just sits around the perimeter and shoots jumpers. And on defense, he isn't that rim protector who sends every single shot back, who affects every single shot like you expect a 7'3" guy with his athleticism to be. He isn't that guy on either end of the floor. Some people say that it is Rick Carlisle's system and the way he uses him. Maybe that is the case. Either way, I think that Kristaps Porzingis needs to start being that dominant post presence, whether it's a change from his end or a change in the system and a change in the coaching from Rick Carlisle's end, because he really hasn't been that guy that they need him to be. I honestly don't know what to expect from the Dallas Mavericks going forward, but it's evident that a change is necessary if they want to become a true NBA title contender. They need a guy who can take the pressure off of Luka, who when Luka is hurt or out of the game can keep the offense going, because in the past 2 seasons in the playoffs, when Luka goes out of the game, the Dallas Mavericks just completely fall apart, especially on offense, and I think that they need a guy who is going to not let that happen. A guy who can take the pressure off, a guy who when the defense is locked in on Luka, like they have been since he entered the league, a guy to defer to in those situations, whether it's Kristaps Porzingis stepping up or them bringing in somebody new. It's obvious that Luka needs more help, and I just hope that they do it before it is too late and before he wants to leave Dallas. Anyways, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one.